So, as an aspiring educator, I believe that language is one of the most profound and honest tools that we have to convey meaning in our society. And I believe books like I Am Not Your Negro by James Baldwin and A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest J. Gaines should definitely be taught in our educational system just because of the language that they use to explore the social dilemma that the black community faced at those various time periods. And I believe that we do an extreme disservice by hiding that language in our now educational system. Even at the college level, it's rare that we ever use certain terminology and explore these books that don't require an elective course or major or minor such as African American studies. Why not teach that in general education? Example, like why does my history, my subject matter have to be uh, an elective rather than a state requirement? uh, Blows me. But again, let's stay on subject. I just want to give y'all an insight to the language that I'm going to use and why I'm going to use that language. And, if I have to get points removed for that, it's worth it because it's honest. And I feel like I should encourage y'all to explore these uses of language and why do we use these languages and why we should continue to use that language. So Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, he was an educational consultant. He wrote Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. He theorized that, this was in the late 80s, of course, but he theorized that there's a social agenda to destroy black men because black men are the direct threat to white America. And the best way to destroy black men is to destroy them while they're boys. And he picks up on this in the educational system. And of course it contributes to the school to prison pipeline. But on a larger level, it goes deeper. But yeah, at the fourth grade level, black boys go from being geniuses to essentially what we're viewed as now. And he wonders why. He poses this question of why at the fourth grade level do we become thugs in the eyes of white America? Why do we become criminals in the eyes of white America? Why is it someone with dreads? My facial hair isn't always like this, but if my facial hair was a little bit more, and my skin color was a little bit darker, if I talked a certain way, outside of this classroom, I talk completely different. But if I use the language and the slang that I use, again, how would people view me just every day in the street, And like, why are we being viewed that way? We go from being cute to being human to being anti-human, And my main character, Kasim, he kind of reflects what Jawanza Kunjufu was alluding to. So yeah, it takes place on last scene. It was his big monologue. And yeah, he kind of alludes to a lot of the things that he's learned throughout his life and the way he feels like his destiny is. What? Disrespect? Violence? You sure you mean that you have a zero tolerance policy against people with my skin color, right? Oh, okay. I'm sure you're just going to suspend me, right? Take me out of my only means of a way out of my impoverished lifestyle, right? Getting suspended means I don't get to graduate, right? I don't even got to hear you speak to know that you mean to carry out an agenda. An agenda that either means me going back to the ghetto, jail, or a casket, right? Because after all, I can only be a slave, an animal, or dead in your history books, right? The history books that you teach us, right? We just lied down and accepted our reality as slaves. So now I must do the same because I am still just chattel to you, right? I am still just inferior to you, right? You You can never get my pain. You can never understand my energy. And that's why I'm hearing this. Whew. Anyways, my history is abolished and my culture and my language was eviscerated from my people. You see, you called me in here for a meeting, but for some odd reason, I feel like it's a court hearing. You're preparing me for a future to where another white man will have the power to derail my life. Out here in your reality, I can only be a rapper, a dope dealer, or an athlete, right? All three gonna either take me to jail or in the dirt, right? Which is why I'm here receiving punishment instead of counseling. Instead of an education that will help me redirect these feelings and this predisposition line of thinking that I was born to feel and thoughts I was born to think, because I am just human, right? Humans can feel emotion, right? Or is it because my skin is too dark and inhabited by melanin, you see me as my ancestors? You see me as animalistic. You see me as primitive. You see me as dangerous, right? Because I'm just a Negro to you. Less than human. I am the anti-human. You just gonna send me on out of here, right? On my path to fulfill the destiny of a black man in the ghetto. No, wait, never mind. A black man in America, right? Is either prison or dead, right? Love don't exist for me. Not here. Freedom don't exist for me. Not here. Not in this pseudo reality you call 21st century America. Because if it did, why am I here right now? Why am I finna receive punishment instead of education? Explain that to me. Why was my best friend murdered by someone in a position of power that looks just like you? And here I am getting punished. Shit, man, I'm out. And Kasim looked at him with the eyes of his ancestors as they stared at the endless vastness of the Pacific Ocean before they sacrificed their lives for a better reality on the other side of death and life. Kasim walks out that door, and 30 minutes later, Kasim is pronounced dead by gunshot wounds. A life gone too young, but he died a king. And to you, he was just another nigga.